Alright, so here we are with game number 1 as Perona into starter deck 21 Luffy. A lot of people thought that Perona was going to be done and out when the ban list came out, hitting both Ice Age and Gecko Moria, but let me tell you, she is still a menace, especially right now. So this version is playing more to the Navy package, with Sakazuki being one of the key pieces of removal, being in a 5-cost format that OP10 is. This is a very good card into it, and this is recorded right before EB02, or a little bit before EB02, so I will say that going into EB02, I do think that the list here still has a decent matchup into it. I wouldn't say that it's perfect, but I would say you still have a fighting chance. Their 1-cost stage is the only thing that could be a menace, but we're able to get rid of most of their bodies. So here though, they did put us down to 2 already, but that's how it is with most aggro decks. We just got to worry about keeping their board cleared. I didn't attack with the Kuzan that turn because I want to save this Kuzan swing for after I clear that Zoro, or in case I need to clear a bigger body later on. So here, they're going 4 into 7, just getting rid of our Brook. And then 7 into 5. I'm going to counter out here. I didn't block because didn't really matter which one I blocked, but I wanted to try to save the blocker for later. So our hand is looking a little bit weak right now. So first I'm going to swing in to their 5-cost Zoro, see if they're just going to let me get rid of it, and then if they're going to play something off of it. They're down to 3 cards in hand, so they do play another 5-cost, which is huge, because here I can do a couple little things. So first, I can minus cost on that. That way then I can KO both of them right there. I made the one that wasn't rested into a 1-cost with the Kuzan swing, and then the other one with Perona leader effect I made into a 4-cost, so that way then the Ryoma could get rid of it. So that's 2 big bodies that I was able to easily get rid of. They do play the Beckman to get rid of our Kuzan, so that way then we have a harder time getting rid of their Beckman, but we don't necessarily care. We got the Kuzan's value that we needed, and then with these Sakazukis, this is where they come in clutch, because here we're going to swing 5, and then all I gotta do is just swing with the Brook and then use leader effect, and I can turn that Beckman down to a 5-cost. So I'm just trying to pressure their life a little bit, see what they get out of life first, see if there's something else that I need to get rid of. They go down to 1 card in hand. The other thing that I could do is just play out the Hina, discard, and be able to progress the board too. So there was 2 different ways that you could do it. This way keeps the Brook safe for later, but it does get punished this way by them just having another big body. So I do just give up the Ryoma. They swing 11. I'm going to take. So here I'm trying to think, is there a way that I can get rid of this dragon without having to attack into it so I can pressure life some more? But I think that, hindsight being what it is, I can't remember exactly what my play was here, but I think that swinging into the dragon is going to be the right play. since they only have one card in hand. That way then I can still keep a good hand. And then here we're going 5k into 5. Do another 5. We're gonna play out this, well, we're gonna debate first, because we could just swing again for 10 here, put them down to 1. That way then the game is pretty much going to be over this next turn. They either have to beat me this turn or remove my entire board. But we do have a blocker, so. So here, they do mulligan. They do get rid of our blocker. But they swing at our board instead of going for face. So that is pretty much game, because now we can pretty much almost guarantee, it's not mathed out lethal, but knowing that the deck doesn't play too many 2Ks, we can pretty much just go 10k, 10k. They didn't leave any Dawn up either, so. And that will be game number 1. Alright, game number 2 is against Lynn. So here, we're gonna start off by playing this Toy Soldier. The main reason for playing this out right away is because we would be able to pop it and be able to play out the Ryoma to immediately get rid of body later on. We are running Laboons as well, but here we're just going to swing 5. And then we're just going to minus with the leader effect and then play out the Ryoma now. Just get rid of that Sabo while we can. So here they use leader effect. They play out a new gate, just so that way then they can get a body on the field. And then they swing 6. And then here, they do play the 2 costs, so that way then they can arrest one of our Dawn. So now we only have 5. But that's fine. So here, we're just going to attach, swing 10 into 6. This way, if they do counter out, then we can still go 6 into 6, and there's nothing that they can do about it. And then we just go 6 into 2, and now they're at a clear board again. So here, they did play out the Enel to get a body on the field, and then they swung 5. We'll just give them the Laboon. We have 2 Hinas in our hand, so. Then they play out the Sakazuki so they can KO our Ryoma. Here, we're just going to go 7 into 6. We're hoping that they don't counter out of this one, which they don't. So now we can just -1 that, and then Sakazuki get rid of one of these Hinas that we can get back later with the Rebecca. And their board is cleared once again. That's kind of the whole thing with Perona, is especially with this build. you have a lot of cost reduction, you have a lot of KO power, and you're making really solid bodies. Your leader effect, I think, in my opinion, is a much better leader effect than Lucci. The only issue is that you don't really fill up your graveyard, so you can't take advantage of a lot of the graveyard synergies as much, but you do get access to the color green, which, if you want it, you could play more of just a control-y stun variant as well. So Perona's better as like a toolbox than Lucci is, but Lucci is, of course, better at just consistently KOing things. Here though, they did swing for 9 at us. We just take. We're down to 2, but it doesn't really matter here. We have the cards that we really need. So we're just going to swing 5k into their limb. We were able to tap it down with our leader effect. And then we're going to swing 7k. So now they'll most likely take this life, but they blast breath instead. So that's huge for us, because that means that when we play this Kaido, not only do we get to get rid of their Rosinante, but we also get to get rid of the last card in their hand. So this pretty much seals up the game, because at this point they can't really do anything. They're only going to be drawing 1 card, and next turn we'll have another Kaido to go into to get rid of another character. So here is game number 3 against Zoro. So this is the second best red deck in OP10. The first being Shanks. Here, we do just take that first swing. They play out another Zoro, so we are going to counter out of that one. We do have the Ryoma for their Zoro, so we're still going to swing into it just to get a card out of their hand. And then we're going to play, or we're going to tap down first, swing with brand new into their 2k, and then we're just going to pop their Zoro. So we did remove their board. Here they're swinging 6. I'm going to counter out with the Suru. They swing another 6. We'll take that one. Zoro is just doing Zoro things. So here we're just looking, what all do we have in grave, since we do have a Rebecca. So is there a way that I can KO these? There is, because I can just go Uta into Brook, be able to get rid of it that way, or I could Sakazuki, be able to get rid of it as well. So here we're going to rest those, and then I'm going to swing 3k into 3k, see if he gives it to me. He does. So then here we'll swing 6k into 5, and then we're just going to play out this Sakazuki for tempo, just to give us another attacker. Here, they do play out the 1-cost Buggy and then the 2-cost Dadan. They did get a Makino off of the Dadan and a Diable Jambe off of the Buggy, if I remember correctly. Now we're down to 1 life, but we do have 8 Dawns, so we can tap down that. We're going to swing 5 into it. We're going to swing 6 into face, 7 into face. Then we'll swing another 7 into face. They're taking all of these. And then we're going to play out the Rebecca. We don't have anything to get back from trash, but we can play out this Brook just to KO their Buggy, leaving them with just one swing. So here they do have another 3-cost Zoro. We do have a little bit of counter in hand, not much, but this is just enough counter to be able to get out of that swing so they can't go for game. Here, they're going to go 8 into 4 to get rid of our Brook. I'm thinking if I just want to Rebecca that, but I just let it go because they do still have a big hand here, so that is kind of the big issue. But I'm going to go 9, see what they do. So they do use their Rad Beam, and then they gave me a 2K. So I'm going to go 7. They gave me 2 cards, and then go 6. They took that one. So here, we're just going to Sakazuki, get rid of the Uta, get rid of their Zoro. We still have a blocker, so they're going to have to play 2 rushers to get through and then still be able to swing big for their attack, but they can't.